Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the stream. It's your boy FPL Josh and we're just going to be doing the usual FPL talks for the deadline today. I'm a bit late on, so I'll apologise for that. But yeah, we are going to kick off though because there's something football related I want to talk. I want to see what everyone's thoughts are on these new blue cards because I think they're an absolute joke and it's going to absolutely ruin the game. We're going to see. But yeah, let me just have a drink quick because my throat's very sore. But yeah, we're just going to finish up the team. If I do make any more transfers, which is very, very doubtful, I'm going to make another transfer because it'll be a hit. But if I do, it will be today. So yeah, there's going to be a transfer I'm going to make. It's without a doubt going to be today. We're just going to completely see how we do. But at the moment, this is how the team's looking. There was a captaincy debate to a degree between Haaland and Tony, but I think and Kevin De Bruyne. I think I'm locked in on Haaland now. I believe I just don't think there's anyone else in the team that will be able to make it in, if I'm being honest, for the captaincy. So it's probably going to remain on Haaland. Doubtful, like I said, I'm going to change it. It's all really going to come down to any leaks tomorrow morning as well, but obviously Haaland will start 100%. Some people still think there's controversy over him starting, I don't. He'll start 100% and he'll play 90 minutes for me. He'll be back to 90 minutes this week. He played about 85 last week, 80. He played a decent chunk of minutes against Brentford, so I think he's back to his usual self. Do you see a lot of people are wildcarding now? I wildcarded, did I wildcard 21? And I've got most of the players people are bringing into their team, just going to clarify that. So my wildcard was completely not worth it because I did it, I believe, when I did it the week De Bruyne got his 12-pointer, so I wildcarded 21. The reason behind that was generally just to set me up with De Bruyne, everyone else before the hype train got on them, set myself up ready for double game week 25s, 8s, 28s. I knew there'd be a double 25, I knew City would be involved, so I made sure I stocked up on City players when I wildcarded. I also tripled up on Brentford when I wildcarded because I knew there was going to be a Brentford double game week as well, so I made sure to triple up on Brentford. Also, I did my maths wrong yesterday. I'm going to have more players playing in 26 than I thought because I'm going to have Watkins, Pinnock, Estupinan, Tony, Haaland, De Bruyne, Foden. Saka plays 26. I believe Flecken plays 26 as well. So hold on, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 players who will play. 1, 2, 3 will be benched with Areola. And then I'll have to play Burnley and Porro, who are both blanking. So Bradley and Porro, who are both blanking, but I'll have to get rid of one of them. Also, Bradley, I didn't know that his father passed away. I didn't look really into the Liverpool stuff, so that was the reason Bradley didn't play last week, and it's doubtful, he won't be in the team tomorrow. I guarantee it, since the passing of his father, so for now, he will be back to training next week, so I'm pretty confident he's going to play in the double game week. Bradley. I'm very, very confident Conor Bradley will play in the double game week. But due to his father's passing, he was left out of the squad last week. Klopp's press conference basically said the same thing, that he wouldn't be in the squad this week and he'll be back to training and starting next week. So he should be fine for definitely one of Brentford or Luton, without a doubt. So I'm still going to play him that week, I reckon, for the double. That or I'll bench him for Estupinan versus Sheffield. But most likely I'll just play him because of the double. I'll probably just play Bradley. Doherty as well, obviously we brought him in for Evans this week on the free transfer. He's got Sheffield this week, got a double next week, which again I'm not expecting clean sheets from him in the double. he's got a blank, and then Aston Villa a double game week again, and then he's got Forest. Also next week, on game week 25, the plan is, at the moment, is to probably move Palmer to Barkley. The only problem is, if I do that, I'm not bothered about losing Palmer, that's not the problem. It's the fact of, if I bring Barkley in, I'm going to play him. So I'm going to have to bench one of Watkins, Richarlison or Saka. Richarlison's got Wolves at home, Watkins has Fulham away, Saka has... Who's Saka? Is it Burnley? Burnley away. So it's a tough one because it's really, to be honest, it's really down to do I bench Richarlison or do I bench Watkins. I don't think I'm going to be benching Saka against Burnley. And to be honest, Fulham aren't bad at home, but Wolves are playing well. So I think on paper there's more chance of Richarlison doing worse than Watkins against Wolves. It's just the fact that Richarlison's on penalties and Watkins isn't, which I think probably just justifies benching Watkins 25, especially considering Barkley's got the double. So that makes the most sense because I feel like Barkley could do very, very well for Luton in that double if Luton are really high scoring as well and still playing up to their absolute best. But yeah, we'll see. It's just going to really depend if Luton's playing up to their best this week. Also, like I said at the start of the stream, I was looking at this yellow card thing that's coming in today, and to be honest, it's gonna ruin football if this rule actually manages to stand more than a couple games, because it's the most bizarre thing I've seen for ages. It's an absolute joke, and they're just trying to ruin football and turn it into rugby or ice hockey with this yellow card. Well, this blue card system. Sorry, I think sin bins is a bit ridiculous. You make a bad tackle, you gob off, you get a yellow card for it. That's football for you. There is going to be tackles that are going to stop goals. There is going to be last man tackles. That's football. There's no need to sin bin someone for making a last man tackle. It's football. Simple as. You get a foul for it, you'll get a free kick, or you'll get a booking. That's that. It's football. Both teams do it. Every team does it. So there's no need to implement this blue card crap. You're basically saying, I'm going to get a blue... This is a United fan, might be a bit biased, but Bruno Fernandes always moans, always gobs off, always says something to the ref. So you just know they might as well print a blue card with his face on it and go, here you go Bruno, go get sin bin for 10 minutes, come back on, here you go Bruno, you're off for the game. Because that's literally what will happen. He'll be a red card magnet for like the first 2 weeks until he can adapt to not having to go with the ref. I just think it's a really ridiculous decision. There's no thought process behind it whatsoever, it's a joke. Yeah, okay, you're a ref, you are going to get backlash, you are going to get comments off the player, that's football, take it on the chin. It's not like you're not getting paid a ridiculous amount of money to ref the game. VAR is already a joke. They're supposed to be fixing VAR, not making the game worse. But I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. Some people like the idea of it. I'm completely against it. I think it's a really, really stupid idea. And it's something that's not going to really pay off for me at all. I just don't understand why they're going to feel the need to bring in another card whatsoever. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a really, really silly idea. But again, we can see that honestly just depends on it. How you look at it. For me, I don't like the idea of it though. But anyway, back to FPL talks. As I was saying, if I was to bring Barkley in, 25 for Palmer, I'd have to bench one of Watkins or Richarlison. It'll most likely be Watkins benched. The only consideration I had was because basically my team will be game week 25 this exact lineup with Barkley in for Palmer. So I'd essentially have Bradley on the bench, let's say for Pinnock. And let's say we've got Bradley with 2 games of Stupin, Watkins and Areola all on the bench. Watkins as Fulham could get a couple goals. We've got Bradley who could get a couple games to Liverpool. The Stupin could get a clean sheet and an assist or something, especially against Sheffield. Areola could get a clean sheet versus Forest, so there's a good 20 odd 5, maybe 20 plus points easy on the bench boost, I reckon, which isn't bad for a bench boost. But then there's a logic of, I want to triple captain Haaland, so if I don't triple captain Haaland this week, I'll bench boost and I'll triple captain Solanke 28. it's just most likely it will be a triple captain Haaland because it just seems the most logical decision to make right now. But it's really a tough one. I was considering, actually, I was taking the mick the other day. I said I was considering captain Doherty as a joke, but nah, I think Haaland's going to come back into this week and score two goals, get a good couple goals, get a decent haul. So I think, yeah, I'm going to be captaining him for that reasoning. I just don't really think there's a better captaincy option than Erling Haaland this week. Foden better go and score a hat-trick again just to take the mickey because I benched him last week and it hurt me. I was not happy at all last week. Like, benching him last week after playing for all these weeks really hurt. Really hurt. Like, I got 8 points out of him essentially in 3 weeks. I benched him the 20-pointer, so yeah, it did hurt because he never scores. He doesn't really get on the score sheet. So it was a bit annoying considering that, but hopefully he can have a good week this week where Haaland scores a hat-trick and he gets 2 assists and De Bruyne gets an assist and he picks back up for me. But yeah, it was really annoying with the Foden case, but again, what can you do about it? That's FPL for you. You know, you bench someone 1 week, you know, for 20 points, then you'll play him the next and he'll blank. It's just the way the FPL works. And mark my words, Foden probably will blank this week just to mug me off, and Watkins will go and get a goal. It's the way the world works. But I think I'm still, I don't know, I think I'm still set on benching Watkins. I'm not sure. Obviously, Watkins scoring will really affect my rank. Like, heavily damage my rank if Watkins scores against us. But yeah, Villa's at home. We're away to Villa. I just don't think we will concede a lot of goals. And statistically, Crystal Palace are terrible, so I think there's more chance of Palmer getting a haul than Watkins. And Palmer's on pens. And it's the same with even, like, Richarlison home to Spurs, but home to Brighton, sorry. But he's on penalties, so that means logical. I don't know why I said home to Spurs, please, bloody Spurs. But yeah. That's the logic for me. Is Richarlison, pens. You know, the way I look at my team is I've got 2 strikers that are both on pens there. I've got Saka, Palmer, Richarlison on pens. So I've got 5 penalty takers in my team. So logically, a pen in the Arsenal, well, Saka should take penalties still. A pen in the Arsenal game, Spurs game, Brentford game, or City game, or the Chelsea game, I'm guaranteed points in any of them if I get a penalty in one of the 5 games. So logically, the team's set up nice in that aspect. Plus, they're going to play well. Plus, they're going to get good points anyway. So I do think the team's looking great, and I'm still differential to most people because nobody has got Ivan Toney. And no, I don't see many people going to bring him in for the double game week. So he's probably going to be 12% owned. Maybe 11, maybe 13 or something. So I think at most 15. But the thing is, Liverpool at home, they're at home to Liverpool. I don't mind that fixture. Even City away. You know, I know that you'd think Brentford wouldn't get decent runs, but I just think statistically, I know City's at home fine against Brentford. And City's got 2 home games, that's why I should captain Haaland. But I still think Toney is going to get a goal in the Liverpool game and the Man City game. He's on penalties as well. You know, surely there's bound to be a pen in one of them 2 games. There normally is in a Premier League game, at least in one of the 2. You know, there's bound to probably be a penalty. He's going to be playing that attacking role he's been playing. He's assisting Maupay a lot. Maupay's been getting goals since Toney's been back in the team. Maupay is not a bad punt at 4.9 mil for a striker. If I didn't have 3 Brentford players and I say let's add a Villa defender instead of Pinnock, I would probably move Watkins out to Maupay and double up on Brentford strikers and really capitalise on that double game week. But because I've already got these amount of players in, then obviously I can't do that. So it'll just be a case of sticking with what I've got and probably moving Ross Barkley in game week 25. That's probably where I'm at. I just don't think there's much really else that's going to be useful. Yeah, I don't really think there's going to be much else that's going to be useful. Slade just sent... So I was just reading something in the chat. Oh, okay, someone in my Discord's put something that's quite interesting, okay. Yeah, that's quite funny, Slade, that is. To be fair, that's quite funny, because, yeah, the blue, I get it. Blue card, blue kit, Biobaku, yeah, I get it. Yeah, this blue card nonsense, just very, very interesting. Also, we're going to talk while we're here on the things that was on Twitter as well earlier. We had the press conferences. Klopp did say that Salah would be back in 1 to 2 weeks in training, but Salah thinks he'll be back in 1 week. But considering he's just come off I think it was a hamstring injury, and the fact that they're playing on the weekend and he's only just going to be in training within the week, I think he'll be benched for both the double game week games, and he'll probably come off the bench each game for maybe 15 minutes. Probably doubtful he'll even come off the bench the first game. So Salah's a no-go for me until at least game week 26. 26 is probably when you could think maybe, okay, I can bring Salah back in, but then he's blanking anyway. So you'll bring him back 27, but he'll be fully fit by game week 27. So anyone wanting to bring Salah in, get him in game week 27. That's when I'll be doing it anyway, because I'm going to want Salah back in. It'll just be a case of who do I sacrifice for Salah. And I think for me, it'll probably be a case of sacrificing Foden for Man City. And also, sorry, let me just check who's Liverpool got 27 onwards. So Liverpool's got a good fixture 27 onwards for Salah. So yeah, it'll probably be a case of sacrificing Foden. And sacrificing probably Richarlison or Watkins to move Salah in. Well, I move Tony out. Mind you, Tony's fixtures are worse, yeah. So I'll probably do Tony down to probably like a Morpay or a Adebayo just for a bench option. Then I'll find the money to be able to move Foden out into Salah, because I think I'll have enough to do it that way. Let's just say statistically, if I move Foden out to Salah, how much is Salah? How much is Salah? 13 mil. 4.6. Yeah, I can't get enough with just the 2 transfers. So I'd probably have to move out De Bruyne. Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one, that is. Or maybe I move Saka out and Palmer out and Foden out, because Foden I'm not really going to want. Saka's blanking 29, Palmer's blanking 29 anyway. So it'd probably be a decent decision to do that. That's if I want Salah back in anyway. You know, I don't really think I want to sacrifice De Bruyne for Salah. But at the same time, you know, having different players, Salah versus Liverpool, Haaland for City, you know, you've got De Bruyne getting assists, fair enough, but having Salah's probably a better option. So there is that to think about as well. But yeah, there is that to think about. Yeah, well, I can't get off this subject anyway. I'm going to come back to the blue cards because I have had my little rant about it, but I'm going to have another rant about it. I think it's a load of bull crap. I don't get this blue card nonsense. I think what will be hilarious is it'll be the Man City Everton game. Everton will be the only player in will be the only player in the game to get a blue card, and then the next day they'll decide to cancel the blue card because the Everton players got it just as a joke. That was my nonsense theatrical theory, but it's very doubtful that surely they're even going to go through with this, surely. Because I just think it's a bit of a ridiculous thing to go through with. Really is. I don't really understand how people can go through with it, to be honest. It's a bit silly. Really, really silly. But I think four of the top four have done the vote. Top 4 Premier League managers have done a vote, and I think they've all voted yes apart from Ange Postecoglou, for the blue cards. Why, in God's name, I don't know. Klopp just agreed to it for the sake of agreeing to it, I think. Same with Pep. But I just think, why? Why agree to something that's going to ruin the game for football fans? You know, football is for the fans. And when you've got all the fans saying they don't want the cards, you simply don't bring the cards in. Whether the FA want to bring them in or not, it's down to the fans of football. And people will stop watching football, people will stop attending it, and when that happens, they'll get rid of the stupid blue cards again. It's just a stupid phase they're going to put on for the sake of it. And I just don't get it, really. I don't get it one bit. Don't see any need whatsoever. Thanks for all the buttons in the chat, guys. That's much appreciated. Yeah. If you boys got any suggestions to transfer, like I say, I'm normally the one suggesting stuff, but if anyone's got any ideas or any punch you might be looking at, I'm thinking it's going to probably be Barkley for me. There was a possibility on Adebayo, but it's just who will I bring him in for. It's not going to be Watkins, so it's not going to be Tony. You know, and he'd only be a 1 week punt, really. Well, I'd have him for the double in 28, but it's, yeah. I do think I could probably scrap Tony to Adebayo in 28 and then be able to free funds up to get Salah in. So that is another logical decision I could do. I do want Solanke as well. So I do think probably Watkins game week 28 is going to be gone to Solanke. Because he has Spurs that week's hard game. He has West Ham, Wolves, and then he's got Man City, Brentford, Arsenal. You've got Bournemouth getting 34. He's got a bit of a tough run of fixtures then, Watkins. And I know he can score in any of them games, but he's a bit of a tough run. And Solanke 28, I'm going to want him for that double. I'm going to want Adebayo probably for that double as well. I will have Watkins. I will already have Barkley and Doty though. But tripling up on Luton for the double as a punt wouldn't be a bad idea. Obviously, the only problem is I don't know if Luton are going to be playing 29. If we get confirmation that Luton and Bournemouth will still play game week 29, then I'll bring both of them in. If not, then I probably will only touch Solanke. So it's a bit of a tough one. Because obviously I don't want to have too many blanks for 29. That'll be the least thing I want. Oh, have we just had some team news on the FPL app? I think I've just had some decent analysts on the FPL app I use, not the main one, not the actual FPL app. This is the data app I use. I'm just going to look at some analytics we've got and stats, because I'm just trying to be interesting to see what we're looking at. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah. Well, what I was going to say to everyone as well, actually, if you want a punt for the double game week, Matthias Nunes isn't a bad punt at 4.8 mil if you need a bench option. So let's say you want to bring De Bruyne in, or you want to be able to get funds free for Salah to bring him in. If you do want to take the risk 25, then Matthias Nunes is a good enabler at 4.8 mil. If you boys want to make the decision on going for him, then that's probably where I'd go. I'm just trying to see if we've got any more data on things. Let me have a look. Ooh, that's interesting actually. I'm just looking at the heat map from recent games, and the heat map's very good for Haaland, and then I've looked at the heat map for De Bruyne as well. And it seems that he seems to operate down the right side of that midfield a lot versus Everton the last two games on the heat map. So Who's going to be marking him then? Who's Everton's right back? Is it? It's not Mikalenko, is it? I'm trying to think who's going to be marking him. It's going to be Coleman, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be Coleman, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be Coleman or Patterson on the right back. Whoever plays be marking De Bruyne. Statistically, I know he's not playing right wing, but he drifts into that right midfield on the side and he drifts in. So look at the heat map. That's probably how it'll be on the coverage when he's cutting in the midfield. So De Bruyne's probably going to have a little bit less space versus Everton, but the heat map does look good for him cutting in and playing the ball through the middle. So that's good, without a doubt. Haaland, I expect him to be back to his goal scoring form this week. If he disappoints, like I say, I'm probably going to drift to a bench boost instead of a triple captain, depending on how Haaland plays this week, because I don't know, you'd think statistically he should get back into goal scoring form. He should. But he's just not scoring at the minute. And that's a really, really big problem for City, is Erling Haaland just ain't scoring, is he? And when he's not scoring, normally it's a massive problem to City, but Foden got a hat-trick, didn't he, in the week, so yeah, it's not like they got absolutely bombarded with stuff, but it's a bit annoying to see that, to be honest with you. It's just a tough one. Really is a tough thing to predict whether Haaland's going to score or not this week. I think he should score this week. I really do. And I'll be surprised if he doesn't score this week. But again, it's just an iffy one. It's one of them. On paper, you think he should. It's just whether he can actually get the ball on target more this week. He was flipping useless last week in the week. Absolutely useless. I don't think I've seen him that bad for a while. He was absolutely terrible. Really, really bad. Well, that's interesting. Really interesting, actually. That's quite interesting. But yeah, I think the team looks well for next week. Well, tomorrow, but we're just gonna have to see. Obviously, City's got the early kick-off, so I'm just hoping there's no early kick-off curse when it comes to Erling Haaland playing for the minute one. We will get early lineup for City tomorrow. We will get very early lineup. Well, I imagine we'll get lineup leaks anyway. Just noticed how he's on 200 subs and now we've gone down to 195. That's a bit unfortunate, considering we hit our milestone and people have done that. Well, I don't really bother, like I said, I do this as a hobby, so people are more than welcome to do what they like. I'm just trying to see if we can keep looking through these lineups, details, press conferences and that, just seeing kind of where we're looking at. Yeah, based off what I'm looking at the moment, I don't really think there's much going on, so I don't really think the team's going to change. I think we're still looking pretty much the same as we was yesterday on the stream for the deadline team at the moment. This is probably what I'm going to be locked in on. I can't see any reasoning that I change it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's much anything new. We ain't got too many questions, so yeah, like I say, boys, I think that's it. We'll be in the Discord today as well. I'm gonna link the Discord in the chat, and we'll be in the Discord through today and tomorrow. So we'll be linking that in the chat. But yeah, cheers for everyone stopping by again as per usual. And I will see you boys on a catch-up stream on Sunday, or possibly tomorrow. We might do a stream at 3 o'clock tomorrow when the kickoffs are live. We'll see. But yeah, this has been FPL Josh. I hope you boys have absolutely enjoyed the deadline stream. This is my locked-in team, and any transfer news or anything else you need help with, I will be around, and I'll be on Twitter. Anyone who's in here now, go and check out FPL Naomi. She is live right now. FPL NYM. She's absolutely brilliant. So go